See, when I was a kid growing up, I used to be kind of mixed up about my mom, you know. I mean, she was so sweet and everything, except when I did something wrong, you know. And, you know what I'm talking about. I used to get really mixed up because I watched TV, you know, and mothers on television never acted like real mothers. You know what I'm talking about? You know, on TV, you know, when kids do things wrong, you ever notice? They never do anything to them, man. All they ever say is, "Young man, go to your room." Go to your room. I don't know about you guys, but my mother never said that to me when I did something wrong. When I did something that was really wrong, she'd look at me and say, "I brought you into this world, I'll take you out." We're talking violence on TV. They never met my mother, you know what I mean? You ever notice too, when mothers get really mad, they don't talk normal either? David Meece, do you understand what I am trying to say to you? Are you listening to me? Oh, look at this room. Look at this room. Look at him, look at him, look at him. I got clothes all over the floor, but that way I don't get the carpet dirty, you know? Watch your step though, Mom. There's a cat down there. I know there's a cat under there somewhere. That was my brother Dwayne. Oh. Come on out, Dwayne. You've been down there 3 days, man. You see, my brother wasn't much help either, you know. And he was 3 years older than I was, and he's the one that corrupted me. And you see, my mother had a lot of rules around the house, you know, and you just didn't break those things, you know, unless you wanted to be turned back to dust or something, and I'd be real careful, you know. Well, he and I had an agreement going where he wouldn't tell on me if I wouldn't tell on him, you know, when we did something wrong, you know. We figured we'd both live longer that way. You see, one of those rules my mom had to do with the kind of music you listen to. You see, my mother didn't want anything but classical music in the house. She didn't want any of that rock stuff with that beat. Not gonna have that in my house. Not gonna have any of that country western garbage either. For years, I thought that was the name of the music, country western garbage, you know. A guy said he liked country western music. I said, "Oh, you like garbage, oh." Got my jaw handed to me. Yeah, we didn't even have any religious records in the house or gospel music, you know, unless it was written by Bach, Brahms, or Beethoven, and I couldn't really get into that, you know, it was all in German, you know. Sound like somebody with sinus trouble to me. But I was in there practicing the piano one time, and I saw my brother Dwayne coming in the house. You see, something about Dwayne you got to realize. You see, my brother Dwayne never came in the side door in the house unless he was smuggling something in. He shouldn't, you know. Did you know that he had in his possession a Beatles record? I said, "Man, do you want to die?" He took me to the back room and he played me some of it, and I've got to kind of admit, you know, I kind of liked it too. You see, we had a problem then, because we could only play it when my mother was out of the house. Of course, you could always tell when my mother left the house, because she had a bad muffler. And we're not just talking your average, everyday bad muffler either, gang. You know, we're talking bad muffler, you know what I mean? I mean, walls would shake, buildings would collapse, mothers would take children off the streets. You know, we're talking bad muffler, okay? So the way we'd work our music is very simple, you see? I'd be in there practicing my Mozart. And I'd hear my mother driving off, you know? 20 years ago today, Sergeant Pepper taught the band to play. And my brother come in. My brother come in and he'd say, "Is Mama gone?" I said I wouldn't be singing this if she was here, nerd. So he sat down and we'd sing together, you know, till we'd hear her coming back, you know. Should I say, "What a nice young man"? Look at my brother and say, "Why can't you be more like your little brother?" And he'd always say, "I am." And see, I tell you that story to make a point. Unfortunately, there are a lot of people that try to run their Christianity the way my brother and I tried to run our music, you know. Oh, you know what I'm talking about. You know, the people, they act one way when they're around one group of people. And then they get around another group of people and they become someone else. You know, they talk differently, they act differently. It's almost like we've got a world full of schizophrenic Christians running around loose all over the place, you know. Well, of course, there's only one big problem with all that. You see, God does not have a bad muffler. And you see, whether you're willing to admit it or not, you see, He's with you every moment of every day, seeing the good things and the bad things, you know. And while you may be fooling your friends for a while, your parents for a while, your teachers, your brother, your sister, your husband, your wife, maybe even fooling yourself, you're not fooling God. Because you see, there is no such thing as a part-time Christian, huh? You either are one or you aren't one. And there's nothing in the middle. And I didn't really understand that myself until I was halfway through school, halfway through college. Thought I'd been a Christian all my life, and I came face to face with the realization that Christianity involved a relationship. Something you do moment to moment, day to day, not something you do once a week and then forget about, you know. When I realized that, it made all the difference in the world in my life. I'd like to sing for you a song. Sing it, girls. Well, I was out on the street about 9 o'clock, kicking up my heels just to taking a walk, smiling a smile, singing a song, kicking up my heels just trucking along. And wasn't it a shame that I had to stop? I was rudely interrupted by a big old cop who said, "Kid, anybody as happy as you are has got to be loaded." And I said, "But officer, you can smell my breath and make me roll up over my sleeves. Search me anywhere you please, but I'm clean. I've got nothing to hide. The only reason I'm happy is because I got Jesus inside." My mama said, "David, where have you been?" She said, "I've been reading about this marijuana stuff, and anybody as happy as you are has got to be doing something wrong." And I said, "But mother, you can rattle me, smell my breath, make me roll up over my sleeves. Search me anywhere you please, but I'm clean. I've got nothing to hide, no. The only reason I'm happy is because I've got Jesus inside." Okay, let's play, boys. I was off to school, but this time I knew I'd better play it cool. So I got to my class, I sat in my place, but I forgot all about that dumb smile on my face. The teacher saw me grinning and she asked me what for, and I just told her I was happy. She marched me out the door and straight to the principal's office, who sat me down, looked at me and said,
"I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but anybody as happy as you are has obviously been sabotaging the cafeteria food."
I said, "But sir, they don't need any help." And you can rattle me, shake, smell my breath and make me roll up over my sleeves. Search me anywhere you please, but I'm clean. I've got nothing to hide, no. Oh, the only reason I'm happy is because I've got Jesus inside. Oh, the only reason I'm happy is because I've got Jesus.
said, Gee!